Representative Herod.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, you can be seated. I'm really excited to stand here with my colleagues from the Black Caucus, as well as our representative from Summit County, to speak on the legacy of Barney Ford. You know, it's so funny because when I started working here in the Capitol as an intern, I actually never realized that the stained glass above us was of such a prominent Black male figure in the state of Colorado. What an amazing thing to have a man of my heritage and background to have such high esteem in this place that we love and the place that we make these laws. And there's good reason for that. It's so fascinating how many folks do not realize, including ourselves, I think, the amazing contributions of African Americans to the state of Colorado. A lot of folks think of our contributions in the South or maybe in the East Coast, but not right here in our own home state. So this Black History Month, the Black Caucus is really excited to bring you a few history lessons so that we can all really understand and appreciate some of the few contributions of African Americans in this state. So Barney Ford, actually someone I learned so much about through my colleague, Representative Javon Melton, who held him as one of his heroes. Barney Ford was a civil rights pioneer and in a state known for pioneers. He was born into slavery in Virginia in 1822. Barney Ford taught himself to read and write and escape slavery at the age of 17. He made his way to Colorado with his wife through New York City, Nicaragua, California, and Chicago. In Chicago, he housed runaway slaves fleeing to Canada on the Underground Railroad. After leaving Chicago, he settled in Breckenridge, hoping to establish a mine. However, the territory of Colorado didn't allow Blacks to own claims to mines at the time. So he moved to Denver and began offering services to miners and settlers like cutting and styling hair. This led him to opening his first barbershop, a restaurant, and even a multitude of hotels. He eventually was able to invest in mines and became one of the richest Black men in the West, owning property up and down Blake Street. When Colorado was seeking statehood, he himself insisted that it only be granted admissions if race was not a factor in voting. Because he was such a powerful and prominent Black businessman, he was able to keep the state of Colorado from becoming a state until they made promises to allow African Americans to vote. Because he feared that Blacks who were free in a territory would lose their rights, all their rights, if they could not vote. When Colorado's first constitution failed to grant Blacks the right to vote, he himself successfully blocked Colorado's initial admittance into the Union. Did anyone know that fact? Over here, Soper. All right, for the history lesson. I thought it was pretty fascinating. After the Civil Rights War was won and the 13th and 14th Amendments were passed, he was key in pushing for Colorado's statehood, now knowing that Blacks would be able to vote in our new state of Colorado. He was actually the first Black person nominated and served on the territorial Colorado General Assembly. He served for one term. He was instrumental in the election of Joseph H. Stewart, Colorado's first Black state representative once Colorado became a state. With the support of Barney Ford in 1895, Rep. Stewart passed House Bill 715 into law, which prohibited discrimination in any hotel, restaurant, theater, or other places of public accommodations based on race. His legacy is not only in the stained glass above the chamber, but in every Colorado voter who has the ability to have their voices heard through the vote. He is a part of Colorado's rich legacy, and I'm so honored to be able to honor him today. Thank you.